All right, y'all, welcome to Wealth Made Simple. I'm here with Jermaine Jones. I'm super excited to be here with you, man. You flew all the way down from Orlando for me to rip this podcast.
Yeah.
And we met in person only a couple of weeks ago, but we did it in a big way.
Yeah.
We went to F1, man. I'm glad that we got to sit down and do this podcast. Thank you for coming down.
Hey, I'm honored, first of all, that you would invite me, you know, especially with me being like a new guy on the scene. You know, there's so many people who've been out here teaching and coaching and popping their stuff and, you know, blazing trails for like years on Instagram, you know. So for you to be getting this thing going and to bring somebody like me in when you have the opportunity to bring anybody, it means a lot. You know, and this is not really a far trip for me, man. This is a 30-minute flight, bro. I'll do this anytime. I'll do it just to hang out, come and get dinner. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
So,
I'm glad you came on. I'm glad you came on because I immediately connected with your message on Instagram when I started seeing you talk about tax and sharing with other people that you can start a tax business. I got inspired. So I kind of want to break that all down. But before we get down that road, talk to me a little bit about your journey. You grew up here in Florida. When did you decide to go into entrepreneurship? And is that something that all your family members are in, or is it something that just you did?
So the crazy thing is, my dad was an entrepreneur, right? He owned the cleaners in the hood in Orlando for many, many years, you know, and I watched him take care of so many people and look out for his community in a major way. He never made a crazy amount of money, you know, but he always looked out for his family and he looked out for his community. So, you know, subconsciously he was programming me. I'm never even thinking that I'm going to be an entrepreneur because I thought I was going to be a rapper.
Wow.
Right? I'm cold.
Okay.
We're not doing it right now. Maybe on the next podcast.
All right.
But, you know, I thought I was going to be a rapper, you know, or an actor or entertainer. That's what I thought I was going to be. So entrepreneurship wasn't necessarily, even though that is kind of entrepreneurship like this type, it wasn't in the cards for me. You know, it wasn't until I left, I grew up, I left, and I went to school. I went to Florida State. Okay. I was studying marketing and finance.
Yeah. Was that a double major or you?
Double major.
Okay, right? Wow.
I'm up there having a great time. I'm just, at the time, FSU's #1 party school in the nation. FAMU is the #1 HBCU, and TCC was the #1 community college. They're all in Tallahassee. Right? So we are going crazy up there. And I remember just hanging out, having a good time. Some years passed. I applied for a job at Coca-Cola. I actually went out to Irvine. That's where I was interviewed at. Stayed there for like 3 days. You know,
a sales job
did a panel
or marketing?
Interview, sales job.
Okay.
Yep. Did a panel interview. They had made some fake mixer just to see how we would network with people and watched us. Like it was a cool experience. Offered me the job. Get back. They called me to work. I'm like, I'm not done with school yet. And they're like, well, we thought you were done with school. So they rescinded their offer.
Wow.
And I'm like, yo, I need to check and see when I'm gonna finish. I went and looked. I had already been done. I'm just at the school having a great time taking classes. I'm not even focused.
What?
I finished in 3 years. You know what I'm saying? I was a smart kid,
bro.
but I'm a socialite, you know. So
how did you not know you weren't done with classes?
Just not even keeping track, bro. Just up there having the time of my life.
Oh my goodness.
But I came back home. I ended up having a daughter while I was up there. So that's how I had my first daughter, who's actually at FSU now. Wow. Next year, she's going to law school. So that's major. No student loans, which is amazing. Because in my family, we don't have doctors, lawyers. We don't have any millionaires. We don't have any hyper successful people at all whatsoever across the board. We never took a vacation in our life. Never went on a family vacation. The only time we left Orlando was for a funeral or a family reunion. Wow. And that was it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. 7 brothers and sisters. In a 3-bedroom home, you know what I'm saying? The whole house, 1,300 plus square feet. You know what I'm saying? So like, this is where I'm coming from. So I don't have many examples of success. I had a great example of love, right? My parents still married, still together, right? But not many examples of success. So had a daughter early, come back home, get a job at Sprint. Doing retention. At that time, Sprint and Nextel just merged. So the bottom is falling out for Sprint. People are leaving left and right. They created a department just to, when people cancel, your job is to try to talk them into staying. Right? So I'm talking about when the phone rings, it's boop, I hate you, blah, 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 blah. You're trying to talk, and then phone rings again, boop, this is the worst person. You know, I'm dealing with that all day. Wow. You know, so I went from there, B2B sales. Right? And now, I think I'm doing okay. I'm making decent money for myself. You know, I'm working like a grown man. I got the black boss finally, you know, so like he's more than my boss now. He's my uncle. He's my work dad. He's my mentor. He's everything to me. You know, he's like the guy that protects me, you know, in the corporate environment. So I remember one day, new girl gets hired. I go and talk to her. She tells me how much she gets paid. Her base salary is 10 grand higher than mine. I've been here 5 years. I'm like, yo, I went to talk to him. Like, yo, what's going on? Well, he was like, oh, well, she got hired from the outside, so we had to pay her the market rate. You were a transfer, so it's different. And he's trying to explain it to me. And I'm like, listen, it's not making sense. So, work dad, I'm gonna need you to hook me up with a raise.
Yes.
Get me together as soon as you can. Opportunity came around, the raise didn't come.
Wow.
And that's at that moment where I was like, oh man, this is not for me.
Yes.
They don't love me.
Okay.
You know, and that's the moment when I started thinking, what can I do? And my thought was, this was my thought. I said, whatever I'm gonna do, I need to do it now because I don't want to be that old guy pulling up in a Ferrari with around all the young girls trying to stunt because he missed his younger years. He didn't get a chance to do it when he was young. Yeah. You know, and he looks out of place. I want to do it while I'm young and I'm healthy, right? So I got to start something now.
How old were you when you had this happen? You were meant to get this raise and it didn't come.
I was 30 years old.
Okay.
I was 29 going into 30 years old.
Yep.
Right. So, and keep in mind this timeline too, because like a lot of people feel like, oh, I'm so far behind.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I was 30 when I was just having the thought of trying to figure out I want to do something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to all you 20 somethings that are feeling like, oh, you're so far behind from where you want to be, you got plenty of time.
Oh, without a doubt they do.
So keep going, right? Boom. I remember I was promoting clubs at night while I was working the job. Right? Okay. And I seen these guys who used to come to the club, and in the beginning, they were like regular dudes. Like I remember I would promote the party. They would like try to ride the coattails of the athletes into the VIP and stuff and take pictures with their bottles and do all that type of stuff. Yeah. And then about 2 years passed, these guys are pulling up in Porsches and Bentleys and Lambos. I'm like, yo, what's going on?
They went from fake flexing to real flexing.
Right. So I'm like, yo, what's happening, right? And this is the sad part. First thought, you see some black person doing good in a short amount of time, I'm thinking, man, they got to be selling drugs. They got to be scamming, right? And it's a shame that that's our first thought, but that's what it was at the time. Yeah. Because we didn't know any young black people that were getting to it in a legitimate way if you weren't an athlete or a rapper. So boom, I meet up with one of them in the daytime and he tells me, I do taxes. And that's when the light went off. I can do this because I'm looking for something that gives me time and money. Yeah. Right? I don't want to be the guy who works sun up to sundown, comes home, he don't have the energy to make love to his wife, and he don't have the energy to play with his kids. He goes to sleep, he wakes up, gets in the sports car, and goes back to work every day. To the outside world, he looks super successful, but to the people that matter, he's not there for them. Right. I didn't want that. No. Right? So I'm like, I need time and money. And the guy told me they only work for 4 months, and then they close the offices, and then they're done. So I'm like, oh, wow, this might be for me. But he says, look, I got an opportunity. Training starts in 3 weeks. The office I need you to run is in Atlanta. You're either gonna come or you gotta wait till next year. And I was so desperate to leave that I abandoned my job. I cashed in my 401k. I only had a couple grand in there. I paid my last couple months of the rent up. I told my roommate, hey, I'm out of here. Yeah. He didn't pay his, ended up getting an eviction. And in Orlando, you get an eviction, you can't rent anywhere. So now, boom, red flag. I'm like, man, I just put myself in a bad situation. Anyways, keep going, right? I get up and I go to this training and I move to Atlanta. I'm living in a...
That's you. Did you move were you together with your spouse at the time that you had your baby? Where was this situation at?
No. So watch. And that's crazy, right? I remember when I did all of this, everybody was looking at me like, yo, what are you doing? You're throwing your life away. Yeah. Right? You're just making the worst decisions of your life. So now I got in this eviction and I moved to Atlanta. I'm living in this empty house, mattress on the floor, 2 suitcases, no furniture, no TV, no internet, no nothing, just boxes of marketing material, flyers and yard signs. And I remember calling my daughter's mom and asking her to borrow $100. Wow. And at that moment, she felt like I was a bum. And she disappeared with my daughter. That turned into 6 years of me not seeing my daughter. Mm-hmm. All kind of terrible things happened during that time. You know, so that was a very dark time for me. So now I'm up here. I can't find my daughter. I left my job. So my resume is crap. Right? The only job I had outside of college. I got an eviction. and everybody is against the decision that I just made. And I have to go to work with this every single day. Yeah. So I'm up at 6 a.m. Atlanta is cold. I go with put on my sweatsuit. I'm running up and down the stairs, apartment complexes, putting the flyers inside the doors, putting the business cards on the cars. Then I show up to the office with my Zara suit, my shiny suit, and it's all I had. You know, and I would put the boxes of marketing material on the ground because at the time we did not have furniture in the office. It was on Godby Road in Old National. In Atlanta, that's the slums. Yeah. That's where T.I. came up. That's where Waka Flocka came up. Like, all the stories are true. Yeah. Right? And in them offices in the trailer where a WIC office used to be, like a, government assistance office used to be. Yeah. Right? So not even no sign on it. I'm like, I'm calling this dude like, bro, you gonna put a sign on my office? You got me up here looking crazy. Yeah, we'll get to it. He never even shows up. Right? So boom, I'm hiring people while I'm out marketing, build a team. Long story short, I ran this office, sun up to sundown, 7 days a week, 14 hours a day. And one day I go back to the office and the locks have changed, all the computers are gone. And there's a phone number on a piece of paper that's taped to the door. Uh-oh. And that's how it ended for me. Nothing.
Eviction?
Daughter's gone.
Eviction?
Daughter, no. He took everything and left me. Yeah. So now I'm crying, driving back to this empty house. Like, what did I just do? My whole life is over. You know, I don't know where my daughter's at. Where am I going to get a job? How am I going to find a place to live? I was so embarrassed to go home that I just went back to Orlando, put all my stuff in the storage unit, and I would just park my car in visitor parking on the college campus, like apartments, and just crash in the car. I would go to whoever's house would let me stay. I would crash on the couch. I would go to the gym, shower up in the gym, go back to the storage unit, open it up. I had an iron in there. They had a plug on the ground. I'll plug it up. I'll iron my clothes right there, put my stuff on, and go on about my day and try to figure out my life, And I remember getting a customer service job, saving up about $800, and I opened up my first tax office because I ran that office. So I knew what to do. Yeah. I knew enough. He didn't teach me everything about the back end, but I knew enough. And I opened up my first tax business in a hotel room. Whoa. Yeah, right by the Florida Mall, right across from Best Buy. If you live in Orlando, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It used to be a nice hotel. It's run down now. Yeah. On the inside, they have units. They rent them out to junkies. On the outside, they just let random businesses rent month to month in the units, like to do whatever they want. So I had enough to get a month. I had 2 tables I basically stole from IKEA, and I had 2 laptops I stole from Best Buy. And I opened up, printed out my flyers on Microsoft Word, cut them up, went to the bus stop where the mall is at, because everybody used to line up at this big bus stop, pass out flyers, and I begged everybody I knew to come and file taxes with me. And I took that opportunity, and with years and years of just good decision making, trying the best that I can with no mentor, no help, nobody to tell me if what I'm doing is right and wrong. Just falling and getting up. I've now scaled it to 28 locations in 6 states. 28 locations. Yeah. Starting off in a hotel room. Absolutely. All right. So reel this back for me. So you went to school for marketing. Yes. No tax degree. No. I didn't even get a tax degree either, which that's for another conversation. But you started your tax business in a hotel. How do you get people to show up to a hotel room and give you money and transact with you? Was this them giving information on some type of online portal? Did we even have those at that time? Like, what would make people trust you to show up to a hotel room and let you file their returns? I think a couple of things. For one, I think people always knew me to be a good person. So there was a certain amount of credibility that I had. It wasn't no extreme level of credibility, but it was enough to get a few people to give me a chance. And then after I did good by them, it was enough for them to tell somebody, right? And I just kind of built my client base like that. Just one person at a time, just begging people, asking strangers, like canvassing, going door to door, business to business, just passing out flyers, telling people I can help them out, and then just whoever would come. I didn't make any money. That first season, I only made 13 grand. Yeah. That wasn't enough to get me back on my feet. You know, it wasn't enough to get me in a place. You know, it was just enough to get my car out of repo status and, give me enough confidence to say, all right, I'm gonna move back home with my mom, you know? Yeah. And so what the way I was preparing taxes is I was not doing like high level tax strategy, what you do, right? I was doing taxes for the everyday Joe.
Okay.
1040s.
Yes.
The most basic stuff. And then maybe a Schedule C here and there.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Maybe a Schedule A here and there. Nothing else. And the way it happened, they would come in, I would file their taxes on my software.
Yeah.
And then I would take my fee out of their return. So there was no money that actually needed to be paid up front. And what it did is it gave me the opportunity to show them what I can do. Because look, you don't need to show up with any money. Just show up with your stuff. I'll prepare it. If you like what I did, file with me.
Yeah.
If you don't like what I did, then I respect it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So then every opportunity I had to show somebody what I can do, I showed them the best. And I charged them a very small amount of money. And I would just beg them for referrals.
Wow.
Begging. You know?
And so in that first tax season, how many returns would you say you filed?
Less than 40.
Less than 40. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that probably got done in a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so.
Yeah, it took me 2.5 months, you know,
Yeah.
because I'm coming from out of nowhere. I'm in a hotel room, first of all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Who wants to show up to the hotel to do their taxes? You know, and then like people like, you know, I'm coming from a dire situation. Like, you know, it's one thing when you don't look like you need any help, that's when everybody wants to help you.
Of course.
That's when everybody wants to be there.
Of course.
But when you look like you need something, that's when people stray away from you.
Right.
So I was fighting that stigma. I was fighting rumors. I was fighting the appearance of me filing in a hotel room. I was fighting the fact that I'm not an EA, I'm not a CPA, I'm not an accountant, I'm none of the above. I'm just a guy who used to rap and was cool and threw parties, and now I'm doing taxes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. It was tough.
Yeah.
Every single client was a journey.
So when you got that first bit of money, what did you do with it? Did you move back home with you said you moved back home with your mom?
I'll tell you what I did. I got my car to repo status. I fixed it aesthetically. Like I fixed all of the buttons, like the shocks used to squeak, so I fixed the shocks. Yeah. And I got it looking good and sounding good, and I sold it. And I got 10 grand.
Okay.
Right?
Wow.
Then I went and financed a car. It was a Chrysler 300, right? Yeah. And I took the money that I had left and I went on Craigslist because my girlfriend at the time was the one that made my logo, and she did it on a crappy computer with a demo version of like Photoshop. Yeah. Right. So I said, listen, we're going to start a graphic business. I went to buy her a laptop on Craigslist with the real software so that we can do this. We're going to be partners. This is how we're going to make money until the next tax season, right? Okay. So when I went to buy it, the kid that I bought it from was this dusty little kid, but he had this brand new MacBook, state of the art, in the box, with the plastics on it. And in my mind, I'm like, hold on, this don't sound right. You know what I'm saying? Because he's about to sell me this computer. It's a $2,200 computer. He's selling it to me for $800. I'm from the streets. So I know somewhere in the hood somewhere, some Apple products then fell off the truck and you got some. Yeah. So I hit him, after I checked it out and made sure it was good, I hit him back like, listen, bro, can you get more of these? He said, yeah. I said, what's stopping you from getting a lot of stuff? Is it money? He said, yeah. I said, listen, bro, I promise you, if you take every dollar to your name and go back to the guy where you got that laptop from and buy everything that he has, I promise you, you won't have to see another customer but me. You can come to me and I'll get it all off you. Yeah. He said, okay. I didn't hear from him for a week. Didn't hear from him for another week. The third week, he hit me back and said, hey, I got some stuff. I pulled up on him. It was like 10 MacBooks, 8 iPhones, 6 Google phones, all kind of crazy stuff. I gave him like $4 grand for everything. I took it, sold it, made 30 grand. Did that 2 times. Whoa. 2 times. That's how I made the money to go and open up my first real office. Just flip products. Yeah. That is crazy. I listed them back on Craigslist. Yes. Ended up finding a guy. I went to a Burger King to meet a Venezuelan guy. Yeah. And he did the same thing I did to the guy. He was like, you get more of this? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'll buy everything from you. Right? He turns out to own a cell phone store and be a guy that would like send phones over to Venezuela. So I would buy everything from him, give everything to him. Anything and you just get the money. I did it, brother. I did signatures. I was doing petitions while I was doing that and selling snapbacks out of my trunk. Anything just to get me to the next tax season. To get out. I get you. And then because you needed money, because you're making money from January through April 15th. Yeah. But after April 15th, all the returns are filed. Yeah. So you got a solid 8 months of no income. So you're hustling. Right. You're doing anything to survive.
And selling products was something that you felt familiar with because you had a background in marketing. You understand that you can get this out. And so you found some people that were interested in buying those, and you probably kept some of it for yourself for your business. Okay, so how did you transition to an office space, and what did the office space look like?
All right. Okay, so look, I remember after I had my little coins together from doing that, I was driving around the city looking for an office. A guy that I was cool with at the time, he was like, I know the perfect spot for you, right? So keep in mind, this is after my dad's cleaners had shut down at this time. Like there's some shady stuff happened, and the guy that owned the plaza kicked him out of his unit because he wanted to split that unit in two and charge higher rent. And my dad had like some old rent from back in the day, and it was way below market. So he kicked my dad out, right? So I'm driving back around the corner from the cleaners that my dad used to own in the hood. And there was this crack house that had been sitting on the corner of Ivy Lane for years, abandoned. Grass 3 feet high, barrel in the back with a fire in it, dogs in there, the fence got holes in it, you know, where crackheads come in and out, dogs come in and out. But I'm looking at this location and I'm like, there's a bus stop right here. There's a daycare across the street. There's 4 churches down here. There's the guy that sells barbecue right here. There's the lady that sells fried fish right here. This is a gold mine. So there was a phone number like on the front, outside of the building. I called that number. Somebody actually answered that number. I wasn't expecting anyone to answer. That house been there for years, abandoned. Called her, told her I wanted to rent it. They said, okay. I came in, I cut the grass up. I went in that house, there was cobwebs, linoleum, old wallpaper with flowers on it and stuff like that. I took that furniture from that hotel, I put it in there, got a couple more chairs and tables. I put a carpet over the linoleum. I tore up the wallpaper, primered it up, painted it yellow, painted the whole outside of the house yellow. And I had a guy from my church come and spray paint Safe Tax on the side of it. I got a picture. I have a picture somewhere in my phone of him spray painting that out there. Right? And that's how I opened my first office. And it still didn't go good. I think I only made like 80 grand that season. Because my first employees ran out on me. Right. Ran out on me. So I had to do it all myself again. You know, so I think I only made like 80 grand that season. But it was better than last.
And you learned a lot more.
Learned a lot more.
So what did you learn from first season, second season?
Man, I learned the value in like the appearance and the aesthetics and how you present yourself. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Because I'm the same person, but just because now I'm in an office, even though the office was raggedy, it's better than the hotel room, right? And then I had invested in getting like a shirt mate. Well, actually, no, I didn't have shirts at that time. You know, I had a decent car. I was doing better for myself. And, you know, my flyers looked better. Everything looked a little better. Just that change alone. I didn't change the way I spoke to people when I was outside marketing. I didn't change the type of service I was doing. I didn't change anything else. Just that change alone allowed a lot more people to trust me. Right? So I was like, okay, wow. So this actually means something. I need to invest in making this office look as good as I can make it look. Especially in this industry. This is a trust-based business. This is not a convenience.
It is a trust-based business.
We all drive by a tax office that's right by our house that we'll never see the inside of. You know what I'm saying? Why? Not because they don't do good work. Because if somebody didn't refer you, if somebody that you know didn't go there, or whatever the reason may be, like, you're not going in. I'm not going to give you my personal info just because you're right by the house. Right? You know, so that was the biggest thing that I learned there. And then I also learned that I can't do it alone. I have to figure out a way to get people to trust me enough to work with me and get my resources to a place where I can build a team.
So talk to me about building a team, right? Because I've learned about building a team over the years, the struggles of finding the right type of professionals, and just learning how to work with people. How did you learn from the mistakes that happened with the first employees that kind of ran out? And when did you get your next employee, and was that an employee that stuck with you?
So what would end up being a problem that I would not be able to solve for years is how to find good help. Right? That ended up being an uphill battle for me. Right? So I didn't solve it from that season to the next season. It was for several seasons after that my turnover was super high, and I'm bringing people in that I thought were good and it just didn't pan out. You know, I'm looking for certain characteristics in people that I think that would translate over. And I'm not doing a good job of picking. That ended up being an uphill battle for many, many, many years, right? So it was just something that I started working on that I never stopped working on.
Yeah.
So that was like the main thing. My next employees came very fast because while I'm out passing out flyers and business cards, I'm like, hey, I can do your taxes. And if you need a job or know someone that needs a job, I'm hiring, right? And I'm doing that to everybody that I meet. So eventually I just found a couple people that needed a job desperately and they came to work for me.
Yeah.
And one of them stuck with me for years.
Yeah.
And he ended up being like my mentee. When I got my first apartment, I moved him in. I let him stay with me for free for years. I put clothes on his back. I put his first blazer on him. I put nice shoes on him. Like, I really molded this guy. And then he even started to look like me. People would think we were brothers, because we were wearing the same hair and the same type of dressing the same, And it ended up being a rough situation because there was a point where he ended up doing something very shady, and it hurt me a lot, and I had to separate from him, and it kind of messed up my trust.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It messed up my trust.
Yeah, because you let him in.
Mm-hmm. I did, but it didn't stop me. Mm-hmm. I kept going, so to say some more employees came fast, I didn't necessarily solve the problem right away. It's been an uphill battle for years, and I'm still working on finding the perfect mix of people, right? But it's now at a larger scale. Yeah. Because in the season now, I might have 380 preparers working for me. So on a larger scale now, I'm trying to figure out the recruiting situation. But yeah, man, that is like, and I think for anybody's business, man, that is like probably one of the biggest problems that need to be solved. Yes. How to find good talent, where to find good talent, and how to discern the people how to vet the people that you're bringing in. You know why I think it's one of the hardest things that business owners struggle with? Is because as a business owner, you don't put enough emphasis on recruiting the same way you put emphasis on sales and marketing. Mm-hmm. I think most people think the lifeblood of a business is sales and marketing. But if you're running a true organization, you understand over time, sales and marketing are just byproducts of what you have to do. Recruiting becomes one of the pillars that you really spend your time focused on. Absolutely. Because you need the best people around you at all times. Absolutely. And if you're running a large enough organization, churn rate is inevitable. Yeah. You will have people that will find other things, or different circumstances will arise. And if you don't have key people to fill in for when those people leave, you're just going through storms every single year. Yes. And brother, I like when it's sunny. That's why I came here to Florida, bro. I want to see the sun all the time. I live between here and Cali. The sun's got to be right. And it wasn't right for me in my business until I went all in on recruiting. Right. Now, fast forward us to stabilizing the first business to the point where you felt comfortable to start a second one. How did you get one business to a point where, okay, I don't have to do anything anymore. Mm-hmm. I can go start another? I had a good team. And I spend a lot of time pouring into my people and developing my people. Yeah. I would take notes on them on what they're struggling with. Like, I had like a little note page, and like it would have each employee's name on it. And I would just take notes when I see things that they struggle with. Oh, this person struggles with this on the schedule C. Oh, they're not good at outside marketing, This person is, and I would work on their weaknesses with them. And I built up over time, developing the people that I had into a good enough team to where it was like, I feel like everybody in here could potentially run an office. And I remember one of my employees was like, hey, I got to move back home with my mom up in Orangeburg, South Carolina. And I don't know what I'm going to do up there. And I'm like, I know what you're going to do. Don't worry about anything. Don't get a job. I'm going to open an office for you. And that's what you're going to do. Open an office for her. She ran it successfully. She ends up purchasing a home, purchasing 2 cars, starting a restaurant, a food truck. It changed her whole life. And everyone in that office that was there with me, they all ended up running another office. And that's how I started to grow, with the people that were right up under me when I was in that office the last year managing for myself. Yeah. You run this one, you opened the offices for them. Mm-hmm. I opened all the offices. Not partnered with them, but you opened the offices. I opened the offices for them. Yeah. And I would give them a profit share. So what I would do is I would give them a base salary. Yeah. And then based on their goal, I would profit share with them and give them a percentage. Yeah. So now that we're at a place now to where we're doing pretty well, I have managers that make upwards of $200,000 in 4 months working for me. That's working. Wow. And I have affiliates, which are people that I brought in. They were probably friends or family that saw me doing good and wanted some help. And I said, come on, I'm gonna open up an office. I'm gonna teach you how to open up an office. And I have some of them who make 7 figures now in 4 months, you know, and then we close up.
So talk to me a little bit about how the business grew if you're not there, right? Because you did the marketing, you got the relationships, but then now you're opening up offices in other places. How did you build relationships in these other locations if you're not physically there?
So for one, the first thing I did was make sure that my model was solid, right? Okay. I had a model that worked. And as I started to grow, I realized that no matter where I put this, it works. As long as the people behind it are the right people.
Got you.
You know? Okay. So then I had confidence in my model. And once I had confidence in my model, I just started to seek out places that I felt like were good markets that I wanted to start building a footprint. And I would always go behind the personnel. So like if I knew somebody in Atlanta that I felt like was talented and needed an opportunity that I could trust, I'm gonna open up an office for you. Yeah. Right? That's where we're gonna go. Orangeburg, I'm gonna open up one. Columbia, I'm gonna open up one. Tampa, I'm gonna open up one. And the list goes on. You know, and that's how I started to grow. I would always wait until I found somebody that I felt confident in, that I can trust, that I could build around, and I would open up an office for them and put them in it.
Got it. So talk to me about the model then, because you figured out the type of people that you need, and then you knew that you had this model so you can go and run it. But what is the model? So for one, we don't do any modern marketing whatsoever. Okay. What do you mean by that? We don't do any ads. Okay. We don't do any affiliate marketing. We don't do any radio ads. We don't do any billboards. We don't do anything whatsoever. There's no money going there. The only thing we do for marketing is spend money on flyers and business cards, right? That the employees are passing out themselves. That's it, right? So that helps us to be able to take home a lot of money because marketing can end up being a big expense. Right. Right. And we build our base of clientele off of the 3 F's: friends, family, and followers. Okay. Right. And we put a huge emphasis on our referral pipeline. Yes. Right? We have a special way that we go about building our referral pipelines. And we go to the people direct, right? We're not mass marketing at an event with a big sign up while people are talking and hoping that they see us and trying to set up an activation. No, we're going into the communities. We're going into the stores. We're going straight to the people's houses. We're going into homes and we're dealing directly with the people. Yes. And when you treat the people good, the people talk about it. Yes. Right? And they will bring you your next client. And then it becomes a never-ending revolving door of bringing in somebody and then they bringing somebody and then you get somebody and then they bring somebody and you get somebody and they bring somebody in. Yes. And that's what we do. And then because we're focusing on the simplest taxes, nothing complex, these transactions are 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then they're gone and then we're going to the next person. And it's a volume game. How many times can I get somebody in front of me for 20 or 30 minutes, right? In a day. Right? Yeah. So if you got 8 employees in an office, and all 8 employees do, let's just, for the sake of some numbers, right? Let's say you got 5 employees. Yeah. And all of them bring 2 people in a day. That's 10 clients. Yep. Okay. And let's say your average fee for those preparers, for those returns are $500, right? That's $5,000 in one day, right? And let's say you're open 7 days a week, $35,000 a week, multiplied by 4 weeks, so $130,000, $140,000 a month. Yep. Right? 4 months. $560,000. That's just 2 clients a day. That's if everybody's only 5 people, bring 2 people a day in a whole 12-hour, 14-hour day that the office is open. And then from there, how many offices can I do? Yes. Right? And then there's things that you can do to affect your margins, how you manage your business, how you manage your payroll, how much money you're spending on flyers and stuff and office supplies and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like your rent, your overhead, different little things that you can do to kind of, cut the expenses a little bit. Cut the expenses. And then on top of that, there's things you can do to upsell, right? Yep. So if you come in and it's like, okay, you want an advance. Okay, so I can give you up to $7,000 your return today. When you walk out of the door, you'll get a text message and you'll either be able to come in here and pick up a check or you get a direct deposit the next day with your $7,000 of your money. Okay, cool, that costs, right? That's an upcharge. Yeah. Okay, do you want a
Do you want the balance of your return 5 days before your IRS date? Sure. Okay, cool. That's an upcharge. Yeah. Right? Do you want your refund on a safe tax debit card?
These are kind of like microloans that you're providing. And if you're giving somebody a microloan, you charge interest on that.
Absolutely.
And they may need that money right away because they have other circumstances that is preventing them from being able to move forward. So they're coming to get that tax return done.
Right. So do you want to do this mobile? You want to do this from the comfort of your home and do it all digital? Okay, cool.
Upcharge.
Cool, right. And then next thing you know, your average fee can go up from $500 to $800 to $900 to whatever the situation calls for, depending on what the situation is.
And so if you have the right people in the office that understand this model that you're building, they're not just going in there filing tax returns for friends, family, and what's the other F? Followers. They're going in there and upcharging friends, family, and followers and getting them back their refund faster, possibly through that micro loan strategy. And then if they need to get upsold into what else are they getting upsold into?
Well, you can get the balance of your return 5 days faster. Yes. Where you can get a refund transfer, the refund sent to a debit card here, split up and sent to 2 different places, like this and that. You know, if you want to get your stuff done virtually.
So you guys can go to somebody's house as well and file the return at their house?
Yeah, or we don't have to. We can send you a link, right? You open up the link, you take pictures of your documents, you type in your information, you send it. When it hits our computer, it populates in the return already filled out.
Wow.
We just prepare the return. We send it back to you. You get it. You like it. You sign on your phone. That's it. You get a copy. We get a copy. Move on.
Easy enough.
So that means we can file you anywhere.
Yes.
Anywhere in the country, we can file you.
Yeah.
Right? And my contractors who, like, for example, people who got good career jobs and they're not ready to dive headfirst into entrepreneurship, I offer them an opportunity to become a contractor to supplement their income a little bit.
Yeah.
And here you go. You get off of work. You got 4 or 5 people to file. They don't live anywhere near you. They're in a whole nother state. You got your laptop at home.
You're 1099.
You're down here in Miami. You're Kiki on the river. You're eating oysters and you filing somebody's taxes. You just paid for your whole trip in a 30-minute transaction.
Yeah.
1 30-minute transaction. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And mobile entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Right then and there.
So now it's time to build the army.
And when you say it's time to build the army, I want to know, where are you at right now in your phase of growth? How many years have you been in the tax space? When did you go from one office to a second office? Was it like in 2020? When did that happen? And where are you at now?
So I started this 12 years ago, right? And you got to think, when I'm starting with nothing.
Yeah.
Right. So in the beginning, there wasn't much growth. In the beginning, it was me digging myself out of a hole, just trying to stabilize myself, have a place to live, have a car. You know what I'm saying? Just have the basic necessities of life. And then you got to keep in mind too that I don't have anybody that's farther along than me that's like coaching me and telling me where to go, what to do, don't do this, don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't have anybody that I look at, that I respect and I admire in the space that I can model myself after, you know? So I'm really just figuring this thing out every day, just messing up, getting back up, messing up. And then whenever I mess up, I learn the lesson.
Yep.
Get up with empowered, ready to go again, mess up, learn something new again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
it wasn't until like my 4th or 5th year in that I was like, okay, I'm ready to start scaling now.
Yeah.
You know, and keep in mind, the recruiting thing is hard. So it's hard for me to pick the right people. And then I'm doing all of this out of my pocket. So I didn't have any loans. I didn't have any investors. I didn't have any business partners.
Oof.
So every office that I open, that is cash money that I'm taking out. Every person that's getting paid is cash money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Your money.
Yeah, it's like I did this the hard way, dog.
Yes. Yeah, bro, this is self-made.
The hard way.
This is some self-made.
You know what I'm
stuff.
saying? And there was like everybody that was around me, all they could do is give me words of encouragement and open up their hand because they need help.
Yeah.
They couldn't give me anything.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I had to do it this way. And I wouldn't suggest anybody do it this way, especially now. It's so easy to get funding. It's so easy to get money. It's so easy to... It's way different now. This is back before social media was even a huge thing like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing this, nobody even knows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's nuts. Because you have now, what, over 20, you said?
Yeah, 28, yeah.
So how many employees does that add up to, or between employees and contractors?
So like, it's usually between like 300 and 400. Right? Some like 380, 360, 4, you know.
You're managing 300 to 400 staff members.
Absolutely.
Yourself.
Yeah. Well, no, I have a team now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm at the place now, right, and this, once again, I'm gonna go ahead and take this opportunity to give Carter and George their flowers.
Yeah.
I really appreciate them boys for pushing me to do this, right? Because I would have stayed comfortable and just stayed in the shadows and just not posting on social media and like, if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't, and it's just whatever. I don't need to grow no bigger than
Shout
this.
out to George and Carter for getting this man's message
my guys, man. Those are my guys. Melon and Money, man. Those are my guys. But yeah, man, after they pushed me into the limelight a little bit and I started sharing my story and sharing what I'm doing, and I seen how many people would gravitate to me, how many celebrities, how many influencers, people like yourself, you know what I'm saying, that I look at and I respect, and I'm looking at you like, man, this guy is killing it. Like, if I do it, I want it to look like that, you know, and then you DM me one day and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like, this is just me being myself, not knowing what I'm doing, just putting it out there. I'm like, you know what? There is a whole nother world out here that I have not explored that is ready for me. Yeah. So now I'm like, you know, I'm ready to see where I can take this thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where my mind is at now. But, you know, so before this moment, I was never in that mode to where it's like, I'm gonna make this as big as it can be and as crazy as it can be. That's where I'm at now. Yeah. Right. And that's why I'm connecting all of these dots now. And that's why I'm opening up these opportunities for other people to come and join me now. Yeah. Right. As a contractor, if you just want to supplement your income, come on, I can show you how to do it. Yes. I had a contractor, which was my little brother, by the way, make 168 grand from a laptop. He has 4 kids. How old is he? He's in his late 30s. Yeah. 4 kids that he raises himself, single dad. And I'm talking about going to basketball practice, doing everything that he does. He made 168 grand from a laptop, right? Contractor, unreal. A virtual office owner, right? Yeah. You ain't got the budget to go and do the big brick and mortar thing like that. Okay, cool. Virtual office, right? Let me show you how to get a shared office space. And let me show you how to get contractors, people that got career jobs, to work for you, and you get an override off of what they do. And then as long as you got a place to receive mail and take a meeting here and there, you can operate like that. You make $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 like that, right? Just one person, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then the brick and mortar office owners, you know, people that had the guts and the wherewithal and the resources to go and dive all in and try. It's limitless what you can do. Yeah. You can make $1 million in one office. You can open up 100 offices. You can do whatever you want to do. And now here I am, right, on this amazing platform that you have, ready to offer people that opportunity to come in and get involved with me so I can help set them free, and they can live this 4-month on, 8-month off lifestyle. This it's just the biggest blessing. Yeah, bro, that's incredible, because I'm running a tax strategy firm. I have no off. Like, our firm is 365 days. Sure, do we file tax returns during tax season? Yeah. And then do clients go on extension? Most of them do, because most of our clients are in investments and, you know, they're waiting on K-1s. Yeah. But then as soon as they file their returns come, you know, August, September, it's tax planning season all the way till December 31st. Yeah. Brother, we are busy during Christmas. No vacations for my team during Christmas, because that is when we're saving lives. Yeah. But like, you're teaching an entirely different model. And, you know, as a business professional, in my mind, I didn't know that it was possible to make that type of bread when you're just focused on one thing. Absolutely. I thought you had to go into advanced. It had to be more sophistication over time in order to make more money over time. Because in my mind, I thought, you know, as a business scales, it has to scale its knowledge and services and customers that it's working with. And you're teaching a completely different model. I simplified it. That's all I did. I simplified it and made it easy. Not because I wanted to, I had to. Yeah. I didn't know what you know. Yeah. I didn't know all the tax strategy, right? Yeah. So I can't teach it, right? I didn't have the resources to do all these amazing things that I have the resources to do now. Yeah. Right? So I had to figure out how to do it without the marketing. Yeah. I had to figure out how to do it the way that I did it. And it ended up being something that turns into a blessing, you know, not just for the owners and the financial perspective of it, but the lifestyle part. That's the part that is priceless. Yeah. Because I can spend as much time as I want with my kids, with my parents. We can take whatever trips we want to take. I'm going to Europe next week for like 3 weeks, bro. Let's go. I'm taking a couple people with me. You know what I'm saying? That's the best feeling, being able to do things for family and friends. South of France, Lake Como. Are you going South of France? Yeah, man. I'll be in Monaco. I'll be out there. I'll be in Saint-Tropez. I'll be in Monaco. I'll be in Saint-Tropez as well. Yeah, bro. Are we linking up in Europe? That's what it sounds like. It sounds like. I'll be out there from the 21st through the 27th. Okay, so I'll be there through the 15th through the 27th.
if you're going to be in San Tropez that week, we're linking up.
I'm in San Tropez that week. It's done. It's locked. Done. I'm staying.
All right.
It's booked. I'm there.
Let's go. Oh, I'm so excited. That'd be fun, man. We're worldwide with it.
Yeah,
we'll just expand on this conversation. But all right. So for somebody that's trying to figure out where to start, they obviously don't have to get it out the mud the way you did. So where would you tell them to start a virtual business, to go brick and mortar? They don't have no tax experience. They've never filed really tax returns other than their own, maybe on TurboTax. So mentally they're thinking, how would someone trust me? How would I have the qualifications to go into a tax and accounting business?
So, so the thing about it is this, it's going to depend on your budget, your time, and what type of sacrifice are you willing to make, right? Because I'm going to go ahead and be real with everybody. It is tedious work and it's very long hours, right? If you're cool with that, then this is the industry for you. And the second thing is, what is your budget? Can you afford to do a brick and mortar? Can you afford to do a virtual office? Or you just not ready for it and you just want to supplement your income a little bit for a season or two so that you can make that step? That's going to determine where you start. I can teach you how to run a tax office in a week. In 1 week, I can teach you how to run a tax office. Give me 7 days, 8 to 10 hours a day. I'll teach you how to run it. I provide support, right? We have coaching calls every week, once or twice a week, where I'm coaching you through the season, what to expect. We look at what you're doing. I give you the audibles to call. I tell you how to maneuver through different situations, right? We have at my headquarters where we help everybody with the high-level customer service issues. So one of your preparers filed someone's taxes. They put the wrong number on the bank account. Their money went to somebody else. What do you do? Call my headquarters, Ray, Cordine, Nairobi. They'll help you out. We can go and get that money back. And then we also have a call center, right? So for all of your preparers, so that they don't have to come to you, hey, what is this form? I don't know what to do with 8332. What is this? I don't know what to do with this and that. Okay, cool. Call the hotline. They'll answer. They'll tell you how to enter the form. And if it's just too hard for you, they'll remote into your computer and do it for you. You know what I'm saying? So all of the support, all of the layers are there. And then we have our own community, right? It's kind of like our own company Facebook, where every office has its channel. Each channel has all of the employees of that office in that channel. We can see all of the channels. We can communicate with all of you. We can do it in as a mass channel where we have everybody in and communicate separately with you so that you're always in touch with us. Communication is always open and we hold your hand from the moment you start in perpetuity.
I love that.
Right. So every single person that's ever done this with me has been profitable.
Wow.
100%.
How many students do you have?
So I don't have students, right? Up until now, I've had only my affiliates. You know what I'm saying? So it's probably been over the last 6 years, probably about 20 different affiliates.
Okay.
Right? And they're all successful. Some of them have made it into the 7-figure territory. All of them have touched 6 figures, you know, multiple times over. And this is consistently, season after season after season after season. I have watched people's lives change. I've seen houses get purchased. I've seen supercars get bought. I've seen trips get taken. I've seen all of this happen from taxes. Now I'm opening it up to everybody. So students, come in. You want to come? I'm going to ask Karlton how he puts his school together, and I'll put together a school, and come on. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I'm going to teach you guys how to work for 4 months and have vacation for the rest of the year.
You have to do that, brother. I'm gonna hold you to it. That's mandatory.
Bro, I've been living this life, brother. I've been living it.
And maybe tell us, when did the millionaire status happen? Was it year 3, year 4 of running the offices? Did you have a big break that pushed you? Did you even notice you were a millionaire when it happened?
I remember the moment it happened. First of all, I've never had a break, right? I never had this huge hit, because I never did any crazy marketing. I never leveraged social media. I never did anything. I was just coasting through, and I was trying to figure this out on my own, right? I didn't have anybody to tell me anything. So everything was experimental. And so it was just good decision making, turning $1 into 10, into 100, into 1,000, into 10,000, into 100. For years of doing that is what got me where I'm at. And I remember when I first got my first million, I remember I had my first apartment. I was downtown Orlando, in a condo, and I remember waking up, because the way it happens is every time those returns get funded, you get a little email with a fee deposit.
Oh, okay.
Right? So, which is super, super satisfying. To wake up in the morning
and just see.
You know what I'm saying?
Seeing all that money, it's like a Stripe. I like my Stripe account.
Like the money that you thought would change your life one day is now on your wrist. You know what I'm saying? And you're putting it on your wrist every year.
Yeah.
You know, like your whole concept of money changes at some point. But I remember I woke up and I got all those little notifications and I rolled over, I looked at my phone, I'm like, okay. And I checked my bank account and it was like 1 million and something in there.
Yeah.
And then I was like, dang, am I a millionaire now? Because I got $1 million? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, man, who should I call? I got to call somebody. I got to tell somebody. And I was just thinking about who I should call and no one came to mind. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to say nothing. Yeah. Locked the phone, went back to sleep, and just never looked at it again, and just kept going to the next.
Back to work.
Just kept going to the next one. You know.
Next meal.
I remember one time, like, I kind of let my boys peek at one of my accounts. Like, I was down here in Miami, and we were getting ready to go to Tootsie's, and I'm like, you know what? There's a Bank of America across the street. Let me just get my own money out of here before I go in here and let them tax me for the money, them tax me again and tax me again. So I went and got it, and then the receipt had a little balance on it, and I put it right here while I count my money out the ATM. I don't even trust the ATM. I don't trust nobody. I'm counting my money, and it was right there, and my boy was like, here, all in the car and stuff, and I'm like, look at this. And I let them look at it. It was like, oh, I didn't know you had it like that.
you broke
They
them.
were like, oh, I didn't know you had it like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, your boy doing okay.
Yeah, they're like, dinner's on you tonight.
Okay,
dinner's on you tonight.
Yeah, man. You know, so like, that's kind of where it all happened. I think it was when I had my third office.
Yeah.
My third or fourth office, that's when the first million had finally came in. But, you know, we figured out now how to get 7 figures out of one office now.
Wow. And you have 28.
So half of them I own myself, and the other half are owned by my affiliates.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So talk to me a little bit about what money has done for you now. Like, you're done with tax season. We're in June. You have the rest of the summer and winter to just chill, coast?
Yeah.
Or what exactly do you do?
So for many years, I just chilled and partied and worked out and partied and ate out every meal, every day, 7 days a week, eating nothing in the house. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I did that for years. And I'm not gonna lie, I found myself going into a very dark place because when you have that much time and resources, it can pull you to a dark place because then you can start doing whatever comes to your mind. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I went there. I went through that. Yeah. You know, and during that time, man, I battled with depression. I battled with alcoholism. I battled with self-doubt. You know what I'm saying? I battled with so many demons that I conquered in that space, and I've come out now, right? So now understanding money and what to do with it, and understanding myself and growing as a person, and just knowing that I have conquered all of these things and they can't defeat me anymore. Yeah. It's like I'm not afraid to go to the darkest places to find that message or to connect with that person or to get that closure that I need to get, because all of these demons, I've already conquered them. And to be honest, they don't want to see me again. You know what I'm saying? Alcoholism don't want no parts of me. Depression don't want no parts of me. I'm too strong now. I know myself too much. But, you know, so now I've gotten to the point to where I'll find a good job for my money. Yeah. So that I can keep chilling. Yes. Because I don't want to stop chilling. No. So I put my money in crypto. Yeah. I'll put my money in stocks, kind of like the portfolios that George puts together for Carter and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And all of his students. I will take the money and I will build houses, single family homes, and then sell them. You know. And nice. So I would do that with it. You know, and those were like the main things that I would do with my money. Yeah. You know, nowadays, you know, so that I can do what we're doing now, and I can chill. Yeah. And go to France and go to Africa and hang out and hit all the islands and hit all the parties.
That is so crazy.
I'm going to New York tomorrow, man.
You living, bro. Are you heading out straight to New York from here?
I'm going to go tomorrow morning. Yeah. Yeah, tomorrow morning I'm going to head out.
What's in New York for you?
My boy Darren. I'm not sure if you know Darren Hawthorne.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, Darren, he's another guy that you might want to have on here. Shout out to Darren and Golden Crust. Darren,
get you on here, Darren.
Darren owns Golden Crust, which is the biggest Black-owned restaurant franchise in the U.S. Whoa. Right, 130 locations. Right, he's already just killing it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And him and his partners are opening up a lounge in New York called the Lavender Room. Right? Wow. So, you know, when I show up, Darren, I need all of these cameras. I need bottles. On the house, right? This is a shameless plug right here. I need bottles on the house. But I'm gonna pull up and go and support his grand opening, his soft opening tomorrow.
Wow. There. Yeah. Oh well, man, have some fun.
Yeah, man.
Dude, well, it looks like we're gonna be partying in France for a little bit.
We are 100%.
I'm excited. I'm excited. We'll talk tax strategy while we're out there as well, and how we're gonna take over the rest of the United States.
Yeah, for sure.
One person at a time.
Absolutely.
Bro, thank you so much for coming on. Where can people follow you at? Where can people find you at?
So they can find me at I am Jones 407. So that's IAMJONES 407 on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok. You know, most of my content is posted on Instagram, you know, so I'm working on the YouTube and the TikTok thing, but that's where you can find me. Yeah, you grew your following pretty quickly. Any tips for people out there that are trying to spread their message, trying to spread their voice? For sure, which is with the irony of a guy with his following asking me to tell people how to get followers, right? But I will say this. For one, make sure that every piece of content that you put out adds some sort of value. Whatever it is, right? If you're niche down or if you're not, just add value with your content. Yep. Number two, make sure that you start posting consistently. If you can do it daily, that's fine. If you can do it 3 times a week, that's fine. But just find what works for you. Start and then don't stop. And then the third thing I would say is pay attention to what the people actually like, because you'll notice patterns. Right? You'll notice that, man, when I'm outside standing by my cars with a bright color shirt on, people are going crazy, right? Yep. Okay, stick with that. Run with that, right? Don't stop doing other stuff, but go to what works. And I think those 3 things, without giving people too much and overloading them, if you just start with those 3 things right there, then, you know, and last thing I would add is engage. Yep. Engage in your comments, engage in your DMs with people. And that's how you're gonna build that following, make people that stay and keep coming back and keep looking and keep talking. Because, man, you don't know what it means sometimes when people comment on your page and then you hit that heart, and then on their notifications it says, Jermaine Jones just liked your post. That right there, make them go back to your page. Yep. You know what I'm saying? You have no idea what that does for somebody. I'm telling you, man. Yep. So those 4 things right there, I feel like are good to start with. Absolutely. Bro, thank you so much for the advice. Thank you so much for the tips. Love, baby. Can't wait to hang out with you when we get out to south of France. For sure. And just wanted to say thank you for being on. Appreciate it. God bless. Yeah.